And BJP youth workers have come together outside the UP Assembly in Lucknow to protest against the SP government. Hundreds from the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha have come together protesting against the deplorable condition of law and order in the state. But soon things got out of hand. Police were forced to use water cannons on the mob to disperse the gathering. And in fact, these were protests organized by the BJP against the poor state of law and order in Uttar Pradesh. And these protests turned unruly and chaotic as the party's youth activists clashed with the police. In fact, a policeman was seen in full riot gear. They were forced to use batons, water cannons as well as tear gas shells to try and disperse scores of protesters who tried to break through the barricades put up outside the UP Assembly building. The activists, many of them wearing saffron scarves and turbans, climbed onto the barricade before being chased away. In fact, we understand that vehicles on the road were also damaged in all of this melee that ensued. The road was littered with stones and broken glass. People were throwing chairs, they were throwing stones at the police. And of course, the BJP time and again in the past has been targeting the Akhilesh government over a series of rapes and killings in UP last month. Opposition parties in the State Assembly have repeatedly disrupted legislative business. But now, of course, the protests are only getting worse by the day, and we will have to wait and watch to see exactly how long these protests continue and if the Akhilesh government will respond or continue to just use brute force to disperse the gatherings. Well, initially, of course, it seemed like it was pretty peaceful. Hundreds of BJP youth wing members were present there. But even as the police maintained the barricades, they stayed on one side while the protesters stayed on the other. Things got out of hand when these protesters tried to push past the barricades and enter near the UP Assembly premises. That is when things went absolutely out of hand. The police were forced to push away the people who refused to move. Water cannons were used. There was in fact that initial chaos, but soon the crowds once again started gathering, and with the all new aggression and of course tear gas shells were used. People were beaten up. It is understood that a couple of people are also injured in all of this chaos, but we will have to await more details on that front. But as of now, things still very much chaotic on the streets of Lucknow, even as BJP continues to up the ante against the SP government, demanding action against Akhilesh and co for not being able to maintain law and order in Uttar Pradesh.